first order of business, to make this very quick, but we need to elect a foreman, probably quicker if someone just volunteers. All the foreman does is sign the verdict and announces it. You'll do that? Okay, thank you very much. I will leave the instructions for you on the table. They are the same instructions you were read in the courtroom. They just contain the written format of that. You have 2 verdict sheets, one obviously declaring guilty, one declaring not guilty. Ms. Foreman, you will sign that and return it to me out in the hall, and I'll take that to the judge. The verdict must be unanimous, as you were told in the courtroom. If you can't reach a unanimous verdict, it will be a hung jury. I look right out in the hall.
Well, would you like to go very quickly around the table and everybody just say how they see
Before
this?
we do that, would you read the last rule that she read to us about?
Actually, that's what I was going for.
Yes, because she made it clear what would be the criteria for a guilty verdict.
This is instruction number 8. If you find and believe from the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, first, that on or about April 3rd, 1882, in the city of St. Joseph, County of Buchanan, state of Missouri, Robert Newton Ford caused the death of Jesse Woodrow James by shooting him, and second, that it was Robert Ford's purpose to cause the death of Jesse James, then you are instructed that the offense of murder has occurred, and if you further find and believe from the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, third, that the purpose of promoting or furthering the commission of that murder, the defendant aided or encouraged Robert Ford in committing the offense, then you will find the defendant, Thomas Crittenden, guilty of murder. However, unless you find and believe from the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt each and all of these propositions, you must find the defendant not guilty of murder. So it's not just that Robert Ford caused the death of Jesse Woodson James by shooting him, and that it was his purpose to cause the death of Jesse James, but that that Crittenden is guilty of murder if his purpose was for promoting or furthering the commission of that murder.
Well, there's no doubt about 1 and 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, does anybody have a doubt about that?
I didn't have any doubt about Ford shooting.
No.
Jesse James.
No.
So.
And that he intended to cause the death.
And then he intended
But
to shot him in the back of the head
head.
6 feet away. Yeah, I think he intended.
so you have to have all those things true to find them guilty.
To find Crittenden
So it's
guilty.
really the last point,
It's
and
the
you want
last
to
one.
go around and see where
Yes,
we're
that
at
would
right
be my
now.
suggestion.
Yeah.
Verily, you want to start with? Now you're next, kid. Was it it says that the purpose of promoting or furthering the commission of the murder, that the defendant aided or encouraged Robert Ford in committing the offense.
And I think the issue is that you have no doubt that
Right.
he did that. No doubt.
Right.
No doubt whatsoever.
No doubt.
I have no doubt that he did it. I think he wanted the money more than anything.
Now this is
No,
this is
no,
the governor. This is the governor we're talking about. That the defendant was aided or encouraged by the governor to promote the commission of the murder.
I'll start.
Okay.
I would say he's guilty. I think he, it's going to take me too long to go through these things. But in listening to it, I think the witnesses clarified that the governor understood that, what's his name? Ford, thank you, was very late. Ford was going to try to kill him, and that the governor endorsed that, and that he made it clear that Ford would be pardoned. And I thought the questioning was very good in asking him, why would you pardon, you wouldn't have a reason to pardon someone for bringing them in, apprehending them for trial. So the only reason you need a pardon is if you're going to commit a crime. So the governor knew before he ever left Ford that Ford was going to probably commit a crime, and he endorsed it. So I think based on those instructions, I would have to say he's guilty, but maybe I'm misunderstanding those instructions.
No, I think you have the instruction, I think you're on the right track with the instructions, at least you're on my mind. Do you have?
I have a doubt, so I can't say the same. And I
Can
have
you
a
say
doubt.
what your doubt?
My doubt is that the governor told Ford to shoot and kill Jesse James. He may have thought he was going to, but I don't think he ever told him to.
But,
And the other thing I think is that where we're getting this information, a lot of it is from Mr. Ford himself, who's kind of a shady character in my
Right,
opinion.
oh, absolutely, but I thought that there were some other testimonies by Timberlake and...
No, it doesn't say that he
Right.
told them that he had to tell them directly to kill Jesse James. It just says to further the commission of the murder, right?
Mhm.
Which
Yeah,
I
and
find him guilty
Yes,
of.
and he said,
Sorry, I don't mean to.
That was a good distinction. He doesn't have to come, correct me if I'm wrong here. The governor does not have to say kill him. All he has to do is knowingly further the reality that he's going to kill him.
right, which,
Could you read number 7, please, instruction 7? I wrote down number 7, and I think...
a person is responsible for his own conduct, and he is also responsible for the conduct of another person in committing an offense if he acts with the other person with the common purpose of committing that offense, or if, for the purpose of committing that offense, he aids or encourages the other person in committing it.
And I think by saying, yes, I will pardon you, he's encouraging.
That's what it is right there. And he's not
If he
saying
said
go kill him, but he's saying.
Yeah.
The governor said he didn't say it.
Right.
But, yeah, and the only one in those of the four that meeting that says he said it was Bob Ford, neither the commissioner nor the sheriff. Timberlake remembers the governor saying Bob Ford will be pardoned.
Right, right. So I think that's why I'm doubting, you know. I mean, he may have in fact wanted to shoot him, I don't know, but I don't know that for sure, and we're supposed to know absolutely for sure.
In my notes, Craig says, and I'm sorry, Timberlake says,
Yeah, that's in my notes as well.
Timberlake says that the governor offered a pardon.
I have a question about one of the posters where it mentioned the amount $5,000 twice.
Yeah.
One was for the capture, and the other was for the conviction.
Right.
That is what the original proclamation
Okay.
said.
The governor seems to have found the money for the first, to capture $5,000, but he didn't seem to have the funds arranged for the conviction, which makes me feel that he was planning on him being convicted in a court of law, that it was going to be taken care of before then. The other thing is, I noticed that one of the last things the governor said after Jesse James was killed, he says, when they got Jesse James, that's one of the last things he said. He seemed to use the word get and kill interchangeably. And he definitely did that time. He was after James was killed. And he said they got him. He didn't say they killed him. He said they got him. And he was talking about getting him all along. Those were two things that troubled me.
So do you see him as guilty as well?
I do.
I have a question. This has been going on for 20 years. And the government was desperate, the state was desperate. This was the first person that had come forward and said, I have a good chance to get him. I would like to think that the governor of the state would, in good faith, say, let's get him. My number one choice would be to arrest him. But if you can't arrest him, take him away.
But if he did that, then he's guilty. If he implied that, which he actually did say in his own testimony, that he endorsed the dead or alive. I kept wondering, is the dead or alive thing legal? Was it really legal to do that? How could that be legal, and yet here we are trying him for murder?
Well, that was the Wild West way.
Yeah, I know, but was it just that they did it even though it was illegal, or was it really? Anyway.
And one thing that troubled me was towards the end of the trial, they were talking about how, the governor was talking about how there was this one event that triggered the whole thing. And this Jesse James thing has been going on for a long time. So in my mind, when he says that one event, made him get the money, I think he's been planning it all along, and so I don't know if...
Well, this was the first event after he became governor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it was on a railroad, and they killed railroad employees. I mean, I think that's the
I'm leaning towards guilty under number 7-8 for a couple of reasons. One, with Timberlake testifying that the governor, and other people, said he would pardon him. Also, I found the one letter where the governor writes, I think it was one of the very first pieces of evidence talking about the assassin. I thought that was almost like he was committing a conspiracy. They already had it planned out.
about the assassin's bullet.
Yeah.
He was either or.
I thought that was very telling, the fact he put that in writing, and it sort of seemed like they had a 2-year plan from the get-go. And the fact, too, at the very end, that the prosecution brought up the simple fact of why they organized a large posse of the militia actually go into the county, and they've done that in the past, but that didn't even seem as a thought. And part of the governor seemed to be secret meetings in Kansas City that they had a plan they were going to follow. And I think, for me, 7 and 8, just hit the door for that.
I'm leaning towards not guilty. I think, I'm not sure that he really didn't want the outcome to be Jesse James' death, but I believe he was trying to follow the intent of the law. That his wording, I think Governor Crittenden's a very smart man, and I think he was pushing the legal limits of his language. He never did exercise when he killed. I know he used to you got to get just as you want to rid the state of him, but I'm not really sure with about a reasonable doubt that that he went to Bob Ford and said, I want you to kill him. That's why I want you to get rid of him. I just want you to close his brains out.
I guess what we're struggling with is that implies he doesn't have to come out and say it. If he enables Bob Ford to do it, knowing that what he is doing may lead to that action, then he's guilty of murder. Instead, because he could have stopped it. He didn't do that though, did he? We have a couple bits of evidence that he promised him some type of immunity, in fact. But he could have, when he heard, let's say in that meeting, Bob Ford said, so I'm going to kill him. And he could have said, well, we're done then. We're not going to do this. He could have stopped the process, but he didn't.
I don't see how Bob Ford could have gotten in with the Jesse gang.
He was already a member of the gang.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I can see how he got in, but I don't see how he could get in and kill Jesse James. I mean, capture him. I think his only alternative was to kill him.
And the governor kind of said that too, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's the pros and cons on both sides. I guess I don't mind him guilty, but I know that deep down he probably is.
I really liked him.
Yeah.
Great governor.
Yeah.
Well, we could declare him guilty, but recommend pardon.
I love it. We're not done. 2-minute warning.
We're still not done.
Okay.
Legally.
Okay, at 15 minutes, we'll be over.
I tend to go fairly in that there are a lot of things about this. I think stepping a little out of character, I think at the time of the world, he had to bring, I really think the governor probably knew what they were all talking about, whether he said the words or not.
And he had all these people working for him.
He had all these people working for him, and they had tried other things. What they didn't go into in there, but which you may know is if you're from any place close to Davies County, which I am, or any place close to St. Joseph, which I also am, Jesse James, had a huge following. And that whole Robin Hood thing, well, let me tell you, it's still alive today. I mean, even now. You know, and there's a song that goes with, you know, Bob Ford killing him and all that sort of thing, and Bob Ford's a scumbag, which he is, but, you know, I mean, so Crittenden had to think, in a lot of respects, that outside of the northwest corner of the state of Missouri, he's going to be a huge hero of the state of Missouri. The governor, won his election, you know, based on the fact that he's going to get rid of Jesse James.
Other governors had tried, because there are correspondence with the governors, taking their department, and with the police commissioners, and they tried for many years with the police agency, there was correspondence with the governors.
The people in the area were so much on his side, for whatever reason, whether they were afraid of him or not.
Well, this is a very critical point, I think, that you're alluding to, is that we can understand from the historical perspective, he may not have had another option. And he was not tried in his day, which is very telling. So we're kind of, by even having this trial, we're applying a 21st century value system onto it. But we're being asked to do that.
But who in this trial, nope, not done.
We must have heard it.
Sorry.
So word from the judge.
If you want it right with this, we have one person who haven't heard from, it'd have to be a hung jury. And you're just causing us time.
One more moment.
You know, who is actually trying Crittenden? Is it the people of the state of Missouri?
Yeah.
Then I think that in my jury he has to be with them. I don't like to think that, but.
And I think that even though Jesse James is a very terrible man, it's like what the state is saying, you have to give him the chance to be tried in a court of law. That's what's so great about this country, that even if you do terrible things, you have the right to be tried in a court of law.
I have one comment.
We need to make a vote, so we have to decide whether we're hung or not.
Well, one thing about the Attorney General, I'm not sure the Attorney General was the proper person they were cabinet members.
Yeah, well, I think we're taking a lot of leeway here.
Okay, so we're hung?
Is that right? Do we, all of those who feel that he is guilty, raise your hand. All those who feel that they cannot say that they have all the evidence they need, raise their hand. Okay, we're hung. Don't anybody say anything, get out there. Right.